Create patterns. Create patterns. How to create patterns? A pattern, by the way, is an image that is repeated or tiled, and we use it to fill a layer or selection. Photoshop, by the way, comes with various preset patterns, and you can create new patterns and save them in libraries for use with different tools and commands. And preset patterns are displayed in pop-up panels in the options bar for the paint bucket, and the pattern stamp and healing brush and patch tools, as well as in the layer style dialog box. And you can also change how patterns are displayed in pop-up panels by choosing a display option for the pop-up panel menu. And you can also manage pattern presets using the preset manager. How to define an image as a preset pattern? How to define an image as a preset pattern? We have steps here now. Step number 1. You can use the Rectangle Marquee tool on any open image to select an area to use as a pattern. And feather must be set to 0 pixels. And note that large images may become unwieldy, by the way. Unwieldy. And step number 2. Should choose edit, then choose define pattern. Step number 3. Enter a name for the pattern in the pattern name dialog box. And do not hurry in this point, and be careful. If you are using a pattern from one image and applying it to another, Photoshop, by the way, converts the color mode. And Photoshop comes with a set of Illustrator format files that you can use to define a preset pattern, and open the file, select any rendering option, and then define the pattern. And generate a pattern using the pattern maker. How to generate a pattern using the pattern maker? Pattern Maker, by the way, is an optional plugin that you can download for Windows or macOS, and is a Pattern Maker filter, slices and resembles an image to make a pattern, and is a Pattern Maker works in two ways only. Fills a layer. The first way, fills a layer or selection with a pattern, and this pattern can be made of one large tile or multiple duplicate tiles, by the way. The second option creates the second way, creates styles that you can save as a pattern preset and use with other images. And you can also generate multiple patterns from the same sample until you find one that you like. And you have steps here now. Step number 1. Pattern Maker is an optional plugin, and download and install it from Windows or macOS. And you should run Photoshop in 32-byte mode or 64-byte if you use macOS only. Step number 2. Do one of the following. Select the layer that contains the area from which you want to generate the pattern, and the layer you select will be replaced by the generated pattern. And this is a good idea, by the way, to make a copy of the layer first. To generate a pattern in a new layer or file, make a rectangular selection of the image you are using to generate the pattern, and choose edit, then choose copy, and then add a layer to the image, or create a new file with the dimensions you want the final image to have. Step number 3. Should choose filters, then choose Pattern Maker. Step number 4. Specify the source of the pattern, and then choose use clipboard as sample. Choose the contents of the clipboard if you copied an image before you opened the Pattern Maker, and make a selection in the preview area with the Pattern Maker's Marquee tool. To move the selection Marquee, drag it to a different location. Note here, and be careful, you can use the zoom and hand tools to navigate in the preview area, and use Alt if you use Windows, or Option if you use macOS, and use the zoom tool to zoom out. The magnification appears at the bottom of the dialog box, by the way. Step number 5. Specify the tile size. We have options. You should to enter pixel dimensions in the width and height boxes, and after that click use image size to generate a pattern with one tile that fills the layer. Step number 6. You should click generate, and you can press escape to cancel the generation. And the preview area is tiled, by the way, with the generated pattern. And to switch between the generated preview and the source image, you should choose an option from the show menu. And after that, to view a boundary of individual tiles, you should click tile boundaries. And after that, to offset the tiles in the generated pattern, you should choose a direction from the offset pop-up menu and specify an offset amount in the amount text box. And the offset amount is a percentage of the tile dimensions in the specified direction, by the way. And the offset has no effect on saved pattern preset tiles. Step number 7. Click generate again to generate additional patterns using the same options, or adjust the options and then click generate again. What about smoothness? Smoothness is meaning adjusts the sharp edges in the pattern and increase the smoothness to reduce edges. And what about sample detail? Sample detail is meaning specifies the size of pattern slices in the tile, and high value. High value contains more of the original detail in the pattern, and a low value uses smaller slices in the tile. And tiles take longer to generate when you use a high value. Step number 8. Navigate through the generated tiles in the tile history panel to select the tile that you want to use, to fill the layer or to save as a pattern preset. And to move through the tiles you have generated, click the first tile button and the previous tile button, next tile button, or last tile button, or type the number of the pattern preview you want to view, or press enter if you use Windows, or return if you use macOS. And to view how the tile looks as a repeating pattern in the preview area, make sure that update pattern preview is selected actually successfully, and if tile previewing is slow, deselect this option, by the way, and find the tile you want and then select the option. And to delete a tile and pattern preview, navigate to the tile you want to delete and then click the delete icon. And to save a tile as a preset pattern, navigate to the tile you want to save, and after that click the save preset pattern button and then enter a preset name and then click OK. And when you save a tile as a preset pattern, only a single tile is saved, by the way, and not the full generated pattern, like the next screenshot now. This image now explains for you tile history buttons. We have A and B and C and D and F and E. A is meaning save preset pattern, and B is meaning first tile, and C previous tile, and D next tile, and E last tile, and F delete icon. Step number 9 and final steps. When you are satisfied with a pattern preview and you have saved the tiles that you might want to use in the future, you should click OK to fill the layer or selection. And if you are creating preset patterns only, you should click cancel to close the dialog box without filling the layer.